take a look around what is left of Falco Shopping Mall in Cupertino, California. In recent years, this has turned into quite the dead mall. I mean, even as you're walking in here, you can see on the left right now is the first closed down store. I mean, literally, as soon as you walk into the door, you see closed storefronts. So it gives you a bit of an idea of just exactly how this mall is doing at this point. I've entered here in the center of the mall, even though normally you would enter from one end to the other probably when doing a video like this, but this is the one part of the mall that actually has some life left in it due to a movie theater, an AMC movie theater that is up on the third floor here, and it keeps this little tiny bit at least somewhat alive. I say somewhat because you look around and you still see dead stores everywhere. But this is the part of the mall where I saw the most people. So this is one of the great examples of what is going on with this mall and what has been going on with it for quite some time. Looking down here, this is to the lower level of the mall, the first floor, which has essentially been sealed off to the public for quite some time now. Those walls around there, those are artificial barriers that seal off different sections. I'm not exactly sure why they did that. I mean, I get that the first floor is essentially empty and vacant and has been for many years, but I just don't understand why they block off some of it, yet other parts of it were still open. This appears to have been some kind of a restaurant at some point. Here is the front end of the mall. I say front end, this is the side that is closer to Stevens Creek Boulevard, which is the next major street, I guess you could say. These escalators have been turned off for about a year now, or at least that's what I think is the timeline for it. I am assuming they shut them off when the Sears closed. Interestingly, at some places they'll block off escalators that are turned off. I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that is, but they didn't do it here. You could still walk up and down them. This is one of the few sections of the first floor that was left accessible, even though there is absolutely nothing here. So what we're looking at here is the Sears, former Sears. As you can see, absolutely nothing is left inside of it. Only some lights are left on for security reasons. Can't have a completely dark store, that would be kind of odd. There are some of the vintage Montgomery escalators. And in a different section where I'll show looking in from outside, you'll be able to see the now turned off vintage Houghton escalators on the upper floor that went to level 3 from 2. There is a Montgomery nameplate. And because they're turned off anyways, why not just walk up the wrong side of the escalators? Or at least the wrong side here in North America, where typically you stay to the right side of the road or walkway or whatever. If I were in Britain, that would be the correct side. So for some reason, from inside the mall on this floor, they sealed off the Sears entrance to where you actually can't see in, but they did not seal it off on the bottom floor in that manner, nor did they from the outside. Here is one of the few places that is somehow surviving to stay open, although from the looks of the nearly empty seating. It's only by a thread. And to further prove it, this was also a section of the same place. I'm not sure if it's still available. It looks like it was for event reservations. Here's an example of the interesting design that they used in this mall. For some reason, that store there is sunken down a bit lower than all the others, and so they actually put stairs and a ramp down to the entrance. I find that rather interesting. It's something you definitely wouldn't see today. There's a mix in this mall of areas that are completely closed off with solid temporary walls, places that are closed down with gates that you can see through, and then other ones that have some kind of just the regular doors closing them off. The doors that would have at one point been into the store. I guess the reason for that is that not all of the stores had doors into them from the mall, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, great maintenance here. Hey, this bathroom doesn't work. Let's just shut it down. Nobody's gonna use it anyway. Well, obviously, people do go to use the bathroom. At least the ones that are still open. Here is the ticket sales counter for the AMC Theater, as well as a Cold Stone, which I'm presuming stays open purely because of the theater. Although it didn't appear to be open at the time, I believe it is still open for sales. It's just I was here on a weekday morning, which isn't exactly the time that most people are going to be buying ice cream. Here's another section that was closed off and previously looked like the other one that I showed. However, this section now has been turned into a sort of model, a scale model of what they want to make the roof of this place into. I guess now I'll talk about that. This mall is probably going to be closing soon. I mean, that anyone could have guessed that. But they actually want to flatten the entire structure and build a new center with retail, apartments, and then on the roof, they want to make into a green roof with essentially a public city park. And that is what that section was showing. Surprisingly, although the mall is almost completely shut down, they are still maintaining the cleanliness fairly well, as you'll see right here. There were a few people who went up this way to the attached parking garage on not exactly what you'd call that side of the mall, but it's the western side. So obviously in front of me now is the former Macy's, and you can still see the Macy's star logo right there. Looking inside, there is still what looks to be a little bit of merchandise racks and whatnot that they failed to liquidate because nobody bought this stuff. But other than that, the store is obviously completely empty. Now we're going to take a break from my narration to take a ride on this elevator. Wow, that sounds so good. Hey, look, it has a permit now. But still a busted out screen. It smells very heavily of hydraulic fluid in here. That door sounds sick. Don't worry, I'll be going back up on the elevator in a minute, but first we're going to take a look around this little lower section here that happens to still be open. So this is the offices of the company that owns the mall, and the that area that you saw that was a scaled model of what the roof of what they want to make the roof into is attached to it. You can get a quick glimpse of me in the mirror on the side of that escalator there. Interestingly, this section of the Macy's appears to have been reclaimed by, well, I'm not exactly sure why, but it appears to be some kind of maybe marketing division or something for the company that owns this place. Either way, that little portion there is still quite active. And now we're gonna head back up. Door close does not work. We're back in the oily smelling Dover. The phone box is kind of sealed shut in a way I don't know how to open. No handle. Does it no, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to open it if I break it. Oh, that sounds healthy. There it goes. Although I wanted to take the elevator back up anyways, the escalator up actually wasn't even an option, as you can see there. For some reason the up one was turned off even though down was running. Perhaps the one that was used for running upwards has some kind of issue. The majority of the Macy's storefront is closed off to where you can't see in. Here's another interesting design aspect of this mall. Here, the ground is actually on a slight upward slope, as you might be able to tell there, and so that entryway to the back portion of the mall there actually had a step up. Obviously, this place was built before the ADA Act was even a consideration, probably. I don't think I've said it yet, but this mall was built in 1976. This storefront here appears to have been some kind of old-style diner. This section of the mall is almost completely dead. There is one open place in this entire section here, and it's not even on this floor. So this appears to have been what was at one point a food court. Not only does the arrangement look like it, but it also had a heavy smell of old fryer grease. Not exactly the most pleasant thing in the world. Interestingly, the artificial wall here doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. You can see that behind it, they have already started to basically gut the place. It looks like whatever storefront was there is no longer. There is the one single place that manages to stay alive in this portion of the mall. This here is the former J.C. Penney, and I'll take a better look in down from the lower floor. Guess somebody was walking past here at the moment, and I didn't quite want to look like I was looking in there, just in case it was a security guard. That looks out to one of the parking garages. So I guess they left this set of escalators running because they go to both a garage and one of the very few remaining open stores here. So now we're going to take a better look in. You can see some escalators straight across, and not much else. Somehow those plants managed to survive. Just kidding, they're fake. That appears to be more offices for the company that owns this facility. I'm not quite sure why they went for that orange wall there, but I guess it does add some amount of interest to this otherwise pretty dead looking area. The fake trees here actually make this portion look pretty nice still. Now, here is an open door to a service corridor, which I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go into and see what I could or could not find. First off, we have a sign for presumably a closed business. Back in there were some maintenance employees. Not quite sure what they were doing there, but it doesn't really matter. And interesting that they put windows into a service corridor. But it is nice to add some natural light. Back here we have nothing more than a staircase and what would have been a back entrance to a store. And we are now approaching what I was hoping to find, but didn't think I was actually going to. So this was a real surprise that rather excited me. And no, I'm not talking about the staircase. This is an original freight elevator. No freaking way. It's an original Montgomery G&P. Holy shit. There it goes, I had it overexposed. Oh my god. This is epic. Oh shit. Please don't die. Okay, well I went right. Holy shit. Let's get this shit out of me. You have no idea how fast my heart is going now. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, Montgomery JP. Thank you for getting me to my destination, but I have no faith in you. I'm shaking. Hopefully, my video doesn't look shaky now. So, after having that experience, whatever you want to call it, good or bad, it was definitely interesting. It was a wonderful experience to be able to take that thing for a ride, but it did scare the crap out of me with that random jolt about halfway up. There is the parking structure that was outside of the JCPenney, and I'm not exactly sure why I walked back here because I had already done so. And yeah, welcome to the maintenance room. Oh boy. Commotion seems to have quieted down over here. So back up into the main section we go. Now we are heading back in the opposite direction, towards the center where I started, to make a complete loop. Some kind of employee, not exactly sure what his position is, but he didn't seem to care about me filming. Here's another unique aspect of this mall. So, this section here actually goes over Wolf Road. And right here, before it goes over completely, they put a random window here where you could actually look out. And that, if I'm not mistaken, was a former Mrs. Fields cookie store. This business actually had a window that looked out. That would have been a rather nice aspect. Again, one of the few remaining businesses open. Unlike that one. Behind that door there is, well, let's cut to a different section of video here that was shot on my phone because it was actually taken a different day that I went back because I ran out of time on the first time filming here. But yeah, this is another vintage Montgomery freight elevator that was actually modernized for some reason. Not really sure why. Perhaps there was some kind of issue with the fixtures or controller that rendered it useless otherwise, so they did this as a way of keeping it useful, but I'm not really sure. I just find it interesting that they would take the time and money to modernize an elevator in a mall that they have intentions of demolishing. Coming towards me now is a security guard. Luckily for me, he did not seem to care at all about my carrying around a giant camera. But, interestingly, on the second day going back here, I started to film inside the mall and was instantly, and I mean instantly, stopped for having a camera, and he told me rather rudely that there was no photography. I politely said, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." And he said, "Yeah, not anymore." So I stopped, put my camera away, and then continued to walk through the mall. And the security guard followed me the entire distance of the mall. Over there was some kind of school group that appeared to have been here possibly for the movie theater. I had seen them back just a little bit up in front of me, closer to the movie theater prior. Not sure why that section wasn't on the video, but yeah. And so now we've basically taken a full loop. As you can see right in front of me now is the movie theater once again. So, there is one thing I have to do before we go, and that is go downstairs here. So now we're downstairs and across from where I was. Now, as you can see, we have, to the left is public access to that scaled model. But this here is some information on exactly what they want to do with the mall. You can pause at any point to read it if you would like. I'm not going to hold back the video for it. All of this information can also be found in various news articles online, as well as the company that owns this property's website. But there is quite a bit of information here on what they want to do and how they want to do it. That entrance is directly below the one that I used to come into the mall at the start of this video. And now my video just wouldn't be complete if I didn't take the scenic Kone Ecospace elevator for a ride. I want to remember this. It's one of the earliest ones I filmed. Torclose seems to work. As you can see, we're currently on one. This has a permit now too. Let's stick it on up. Torclose does definitely seem to work. I appreciate that. Why did the brake conk again? We haven't moved. Anyways, it's basically the same as last time, so we'll just take it down and end it. It smells like cinnamon in here. Churros. Must be from the AMC. Oh, that sounds wonderful. So, with one final look down into the lower section of the mall here in the one thriving section, I'm gonna have to say that is it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, It's definitely outside my normal realm of what I make, but I thought it was rather fun and somewhat fitting for the day that I'm releasing it. So if you enjoyed it, let me know down below, and I'll try to make another one like it, but I can't make any guarantees. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you in my next video.